Worthless!
I didn't see them! They really are here! How did you know?
Navia mentioned that she stayed in touch with Linny and the others after working together. Apparently, they've been at the docks distributing these strange pockets the whole time since.
Traveler, Paimon. Ah, and Miss Charlotte, too.
Would you like a magic pocket? What sort of gadget is it? It's a wondrous
sí,
bag
los
that can be
bolsos
used to
mágicos.
carry many things. The water level has returned to normal. But if you see any of your
Patrocinado
things
por
floating
Hermione.
around, you can use this to
Patentado
carry
por
them.
Hermione, más bien.
Or you could trick a friend into doing it for you. Trick a friend? You
¿Por qué
could
la
just make a
vendrán?
friend like Fremine here. Isn't that right, Fremine?
Is this what you meant by I'll help you make some more friends?
To be honest, that sounds pretty sweet. Could I have your contact, please?
Sure. Please, write down my address.
Lynette sure is working hard to help Fremine socialize.
He was the one who proposed doing this. He
Uy,
even
ya
wants
dijo.
to assist in our magic shows.
Seguro que la haría
Yes,
genio.
I was planning to first introduce Pear as an assistant, and later Fremine himself. In the future, I think we can leave underwater escape magic to him too.
That said, would anyone want to see a diver escape underwater?
Buen punto.
Oh, it'll work out. Every journey begins with the first step. He'll become a part of our show eventually.
Lynette, could you come over?
Sabe
Miss
que se frisa
Charlotte
instante
says
con
she
su
wants to take a
canción.
picture of us.
Got it.
My, that Charlotte is rather perceptive. She got rid of everyone the moment she realized I had something to say to you. Father says that you did a great deal during the latest events. She's very grateful for your contributions to Fontaine.
Ajá, sí, claro. ¿Cuándo vas a robar entonces la hipnosis?
That's alright. We were more than happy to help. So, what's she doing now?
Ah, sí, robando la hipnosis.
Oh, I guess you haven't heard. Well, after Lady Farina left, Father and Monsieur Neuvillette opened negotiations, during which he gave Fontaine's gnosis to her as a diplomatic gift.
Entonces sí, le doy la
A
hipnosis.
diplomatic gift? A gnosis?
Yes, I was quite surprised at first myself.
Ok, no lo robo.
But when I thought it
Súper
over, there were actually a number of things going for it.
Entonces, a ver. Teóricamente hablando, la única hipnosis que han llegado a robar es la de Mondstadt. En Inazuma fue una negociación. En Liyue fue una negociación. En Sumeru fue una negociación. Sí se llevó la hipnosis, ¿verdad? Sí. Y aquí también fue otra negociación.
It could have been done as an apology for the incident with Lord Child, or as thanks for his help in tying the all-devouring narwhal down. Furthermore, Father did also lend significant aid to Fontaine and Poisson.
¿Por qué vendes un borracho y no tirado? La verdad es que no estaba tirado.
This is a gnosis
Estaba
we're
saliendo de la
talking about.
iglesia, ¿sabes? Y de repente señora dijo, ah, dame para acá. ¿Sabes?
I would agree, but I've also heard that it seems that Monsieur Neuvillette has had a significant change of heart regarding the matter.
Así de
So there's
fácil era.
some reason for this that only Neuvillette knows about?
I suspect you'll have to ask him about that yourself. Ah, yes, speaking of which, I did see him strolling around the entrance to the fortress of Meripede a while back.
Maravilloso, estábamos saliendo ahí.
Real busy and stuff. Paimon didn't think he'd have the time for that. But back to the topic. The gnosis was given to the knave, right? What about Child?
They say that he's returned to Snezhnaya to recover from his wounds. I hear that the recent disaster really did a number on his health.
Parece, supongo que ya puedo llamarlo compañero de batalla.
That's true. When you think about it, we've had loads of run-ins with the Fatui. To think we'd be allied with
So shocked by such a simple switching of sides?
Vaya, mira nomás. Ah, sí, está doña.
Father,
Well, what do you know? Come to the docks to see how my children are doing and meet the traveler by chance. Please do not pay my accomplishments in Fontaine too much mind. I would have done them regardless.
Are you going to take the Gnosis back to Snezhnaya?
That is our duty as harbingers. Yes, don't be too preoccupied with sides. The goal of the Fatui concerns not a single place or person, but the entire world. With such a grand goal in mind, it is inevitable that we must wear many masks. Switching my masks is something I've always done.
¿Sigues manteniendo esa posición?
Well, that depends on many things. No one truly knows what the future holds. What good is honesty if you can't rely on it forever? As for you, I very much look forward to our next collaboration. Good things cannot be achieved alone, and you've proved yourselves to be great partners.
Por cierto, ¿me ayudarías a entregar esto?
A vision? All right. I'll remember to return it. Thank you for keeping it safe for him this entire time.
And that's a wrap for me. Huh? You're...
Greetings, Miss Journalist.
Hello. If I'm not mistaken, there are diplomatic channels I'll need to report to take a photo of you.
That is correct. So forgive me, but I will not be able to serve as a subject in your article. However, feel free to write as much as you'd like about our dear magicians and our upcoming rookie talent.
I will.
The sea breeze is quite pleasant. I shall continue my walk
La
while
verdad es
the
que es
weather remains so
un poco
agreeable.
extraño, la verdad, tomando en cuenta
Farewell.
de que en la introducción de Fontaine nos habían puesto a Arlequino que iba a ser bastante maligna, ¿sabes? Y que nos demuestren que en realidad es, creo que el Fatui, después de Neuvillette, la Fatui más afable de todos.
farewell, Father.
Oh, she has such an intimidating presence. I didn't even dare to take a picture. Thankfully, I've already wrapped up all my pre-scheduled interviews.
Te
Thank you
impresiona.
all. This'll be more than enough for me to write about, I'm sure.
Don't be too nervous. Why don't you take a magic pocket before you go? Here, traveler, Paimon, you take one too.
Por algo será jugable, en efecto.
To move things about?
That's right. Funny. I was giving out magic pockets when we first met too. And what do you know? I'm doing the exact same thing right now. I guess this must be life. We will all follow our own paths, and serendipity will lead you to your fated friends. All right then. We'll be handing out pockets in some other districts later, so we'll get going now. Have a good day, you two.
Ale, chao.
Well, guess he said Charlotte, huh? Shall we go see what Neuvillette's doing? As long as he's not so busy that he doesn't have time to chat anyway.
Oh, por supuesto que vamos a buscarlo. ¿Qué onda? What the fuck, señor? Monsieur Neuvillette, por favor, necesito que me explique todas estas locuras.
The entrance to the fortress! Ooh, he really is there!
Pero ¿por qué está en la entrada? No lo entiendo.
So, you really are here, Neuvillette! I didn't think you were going to have free time this hour of the day.
Really? Oh, I suppose you must have met Mr. Linney. He took the time to greet me earlier when he passed this way. In any case, you came at a good time. I was just considering reaching out to you to set up a meeting, so I may explain some things that I haven't had the time to before.
Aw, Paimon's glad that you remembered. Thank you for keeping us on your mind, what with you being busy and all.
Oh,
Alright, let's have it then. How was Fontaine actually saved? The whole business is still quite the mystery to us.
It is strange how words can often leave a bitter taste in the mouth when it finally
Tremendas
comes time to
pestañas
say
tiene
them
ese.
out loud.
Pues por lo mismo que dijo la bruja N, ¿no? La forma, el punto de vista de los dioses, o sea, puede haber muchas cosas que pueden llegar al punto ciego de los dioses. Entonces los dioses tal cual estaban esperando, queremos que se inunde Fontaine, queremos que se inunde Fontaine, tiene que inundarse Fontaine, y así se cumple la profecía. Entonces lo que hizo Neuvillette es eso mismo, ok, porque probablemente es lo que están esperando los dioses, que están allá arribita, vale, cool, inundamos Fontaine, pero la gente no se va a morir. Y luego ya se regresa a Fontaine y la gente sigue viva. Los dioses no van a ver cuántas personitas siguen ahí moviéndose. Solo vieron que Fontaine se inundó. Y listo, pasó la profecía. Siguiente castigo. You know? Es lo que yo estoy comprendiendo. O sea que los dioses tampoco quieren a Francia, entendible.
Whoa. So that's what happened?
Yo solo estaba al tanto de la parte de Furina.
Focalor destroyed the divine throne of the Hydro Archon and restored your power to you, transforming you into a fully fledged elemental dragon sovereign. But Paimon still doesn't quite get what you did to save the Fontanians from dissolving.
For me, the authority of the ancient dragons refers to absolute control over the hydro element. Fontanians were incomplete humans born of Egeria's use of the power of the primordial sea, with constitutions similar to that of mimics. But so long as those primordial energies remain within them, I could use the ancient dragon's authority to grant them true blood, after the fashion in which life was first brought into being on this planet. In other words, when I gave my verdict, Fontanians became true humans, and thus would naturally no longer be dissolved by water from the primordial sea.
Okay.
Focalor must have counted on you to make that decision as well. Your verdict was the key to making the prophecy appear to have come true while saving everyone.
O sea que se podría decir que la gente de Fontaine ha nacido
Yeah,
ahora.
and in a manner of speaking, Focalor finally managed to fulfill the original Hydro Archon's wish to turn Oceanids into real people too.
It seems from your expressions that you still have more things you wish to ask. Ask away. I will tell you the truth as I know it.
¿Qué pasó con el
I
veredicto
have
de Neuvillette?
investigated his case along many avenues, and I have learned that he once fell into an unknown chasm when he was young. There, by chance, he awakened the all-devouring narwhal.
Entonces era culpable, pero por poner en peligro a Fontaine de nuevo.
But whether it be by sentiment or reason, that should not have been enough to consider him the root cause of the disaster. At most, he would have had tangential liability. As for the judgment passed by the oratrice during the trial, whether it was due to that liability by association, or Focalor deliberately using him to buy time for us on the assumption that he would be able to hold the creature off, I cannot say.
Guess Focalor had Fontanians in mind the whole time. In the end, it was thanks to her that they finally became real humans. Hang on a second. Paimon suddenly got another question. Back when Fontanians hadn't yet become real humans, were the children they had also transformed Oceanids?
Exacto.
Life has always flowed like water. Do you recall how Fontanians would often come to the Fountain of Lucine to pray for children?
Yeah, Lynette said the fountain is where all the waters in Fontaine converge.
In truth, even those couples did not know that such prayers were no mere custom, but instead a form of ritual.
What?
Those Oceanids who were blessed within the spring water would later descend as new humans in the coming months.
Paimon
¿Cómo?
sorta gets it now. Either way, it seems like this ritual won't be of any further use, but it'll probably live on as a local custom.
Ask away. I will tell you the truth as I know it.
¿Qué será del futuro de Fontaine?
Yeah, about that. Risley said Farina has already left. What's that all about?
Ah, Lady Farina. The people are only aware that her death sentence has not been carried out. She abdicated the post of Hydro Archon and left affairs related to that title to me, before leaving the Opera House. I related Focalor's words to her faithfully and completely. After hearing them, she seemed neither saddened nor comforted. She simply said that she was tired and needed to rest. Having said that, she then packed her things and moved out of the Opera House, not unlike how an ordinary person might.
But she's still got a place to stay, right?
You need not worry. I will make arrangements to ensure that she will not want for food, clothing, board, or travel. In truth, I am somewhat happy for her. The wear and tear on her spirit will, of course, take time to heal.
Claro, porque ahora ya sabiendo que no tiene que mantener el papel, es como, ¿cuál es ahora mi verdadero ser?
But now that she no longer has to play the role of
500 años
Fosalor the
fingiendo,
Hydro
o sea.
Archon, she can finally lay down her burdens and lead a normal life.
What about you then? What are your plans now that you've regained your full powers as the Hydro Dragon?
After Fosalor passed on, the Oratrice also ceased to function. This matter will directly affect our trials. After much careful consideration, I've decided to take over its role in our courts. From now on, I shall hear cases and pass verdicts by myself.
Looks like you're still considering stuff from the perspective of the Udex, huh?
As an elemental dragon, there are indeed many things that I must do. But this power and this duty, in a manner of speaking, you could say that both were granted to me. As such, before I attend to my other responsibilities, I must first and foremost continue to serve Fontaine as its highest judge. The duty of the Hydro Sovereign and the duty of the Udex shall
Sí, de
coexist
todos modos,
within my
prácticamente
person.
ya lo hacía, so no cambia mucho de tu lado.
Additionally, the Hydro Archon's departure has brought about another problem, which is that the Opera House shall no longer produce indemnitium.
Ah, claro, y ahora tienen un problema de energía, ¿verdad?
That's true. That power was derived from the people's faith in the Hydro Archon, wasn't it? Wait, but the various mechs and machines in the city are all still okay. Where are they getting their energy from?
As I am now, I have full command over New Musia, and it can serve as a complete substitute. Another reason why I cannot quite leave Fontaine immediately.
Wow. This ancient dragon's authority stuff is really quite useful, huh?
Ask away. I will tell you the truth as I know it.
¿Qué ha pasado con la hipnosis de Fontaine?
Oh, that's right! They say you've given it to the knave as a diplomatic gift or something!
Leaving aside their intentionality, the two Fatui Harbingers have indeed done much for us during this crisis. Their sole remaining goal in Fontaine, at least at this point, would seem to be the Gnosis. The Oratrice has ceased to function. The Hydro Archon's divine throne is now no more, and I do not need the Gnosis's power.
Yeah.
As such, it has lost all meaning for Fontaine. If the Fatui have impure designs, then we might as well accede to their request now, and avoid unnecessary conflict.
What complicated considerations! Paimon thought you were just giving it to them out of gratitude to the knave and as an apology to Child.
Ask away. I will tell you the truth as I know it.
Sobre la siguiente parada de nuestro
You will
viaje.
soon be heading to Natlan, I presume. I'm afraid that I have little talent as a travel guide, so all I can do is tell you what I know about that land.
Otra región de la cual estoy muy emocionada porque hay un Tenochtitlán.
As far as I'm aware, Natlan can be said to be a nation of dragons.
Nación de dragón.
A nation of dragons? You mean like you?
No, I suspect that I would not find myself welcome there. Unlike ancient dragons such as myself, the dragons of Natlan have undergone long years of development and evolution. Large numbers of them have entered a form of coexistence with humanity.
O sea que vamos ahí ver híbridos dragones humanos.
Natlan is also the nation of war. War ravages those lands like an undying flame.
Lo que necesito saber es que es una arconte o es un arconte.
There is one other piece of information I got incidentally from my negotiations with the knave that I believe may be useful to you. The harbinger known as the Captain
Va a estar
has
el capitán
thrown
ahí.
his
Okay,
head
vale.
into the endless ring of war.
The captain. Sounds like a real tough customer. Seriously, everywhere you look, there's a Fatui Harbinger doing their thing.
I suggest that you fully prepare yourself before going to Natlan. In the meantime, Fontaine's doors will always be open to you.
No, no nos vas a decir si es un o un arconte. Es en serio. Es que...
Ask away. I will tell you the truth as I know it.
Ya no tengo más preguntas.
Paimon still got a question about the Gnosis. When we spoke to Linny earlier, he mentioned that your attitude towards giving away the Gnosis had clearly changed. We guessed that there might be some reason for it that only you were aware of.
No wonder the House of the Hearth is the Fatui's intelligence division. They are certainly sharp. So regarding this specific issue, I was just getting ready to share something with you.
What is it?
In truth, I exchanged some further words with that lady named Skirk after sending you two back to the surface. It went something like this.
Ah. Todavía se quedó hablando con Skirk.
Well, we're going to head topside to see what's going on. You hurry over soon as well, all right, Neuvillette?
What next?
The all-devouring narwhal isn't here, so I'm no longer getting any interference. I can finally catch the scent of your power, what it's made of. It is the authority of the planet's primordial dragons, but with something very similar to a god's curse mixed in. It's quite a novel blend. I'm sure I've encountered something like this before. What was it again?
I do not know what you speak of.
Ah, of course. How could I forget? You should have the remains of the third descender on your person, yes?
Ah, okay.
Remains? I've never heard of any such thing.
According to your
Gnosis.
parlance, I believe
Ajá,
it may
lo
be
que
called
estaba
a
diciendo.
gnosis.
Well, that much is true. After Focalor's divinity faded, she handed her gnosis to me. But I fear I have never heard of it described in the manner that you just did.
I've been training with my master, the Fowl, ever since I was young, and I have never returned to the surface since. So most of the information I possess, I got from him.
O sea, esta es parte del abismo, entonces. Porque están diciendo abajo.
It is only natural for those who are greater than humanity to possess a different sort of common sense, which is why there are so many problems in our attempts to communicate with humans. Regardless, you should probably get rid of objects of misfortune to prevent any disasters from befalling you.
Objeto ominoso. O sea que las hipnosis son objetos ominosos.
To live in itself is a blessing. But once a person dies,
El abismo es el
the
verdadero cielo de
bonds he
Tebat.
once had with
Pero
this
el
world
abismo
shall
está
all
abajo,
turn
no está
into
arriba.
curses.
What do you mean by that?
No need to fret. These are just my
Por eso.
personal thoughts.
O sea, estás diciendo que
And my
Tebat está al
reason for no
revés.
longer wishing to return to the surface.
This third descender you refer to, who are they? And when did they die?
Master never mentioned them to me. Perhaps it just wasn't that important for me to know. If you're interested, though, I could ask him. I'll be sure to pass the answer on to you next time.
Next time? You believe we will meet again?
I do. Wait. I have a disciple of my own, don't I? He can be the messenger then.
Vale. Es algo complicado de explicar, pero todo eso se supone que algún momento lo dirán. Vale. Sí, lo están revelando así como que poquito a poquito. Ahora,
That's
como
what
te
she
digo,
told me.
o sea, como había
Whether it
comentado
would prove
anteriormente,
useful or not, I wanted to pass that information on to you.
nosotros somos uno de esos descendentes. Significa que si una hipnosis está hecha de los restos de los descendentes, si, por ejemplo, yo muero en Tebat, el personaje principal muere en Tebat, se crea una nueva hipnosis. Por lo tanto, se crea un nuevo elemento, o no, porque no hay otro dragón elemental con un elemento completamente diferente. Es lo que está como, what? Mona junto con las brujas de la Kerrare son las únicas que lo saben.
The remains of the third descender? So that's what the Gnosis actually are. Paimon just thought they looked like chess pieces. How could they be a person's remains?
All the same, assuming that there was no misunderstanding or special metaphor at play, that is what she meant to say.
And she said that it would bring misfortune and that you should check it, which is why you gave it to the Fatui.
If she speaks the truth, then I would simply be putting Fontaine at unnecessary risk by keeping it here.
Los descendidos. Skirk habló de ellos. En mi opinión, esta información... Yo soy la cuarta descendida. Primero, que las hipnosis están relacionadas con los descendidos. Segundo, que el descendido que hubo antes que yo ya está muerto.
I guessed that you might already be familiar with this concept, but I did not expect you to be one of them. That means that the Gnosis, which are exceedingly element compatible and can even enhance elemental abilities, do indeed come from the third descender. I wonder, does your body also possess similar properties?
Sí, por eso puedo cambiar de elemento en cada momento.
Like being able to use elemental powers without a vision. That does sort of count as special compatibility, right? No, let's not think about this stuff right now. It just feels creepy.
Pues se supone que al comienzo los hermanos manejan la luz o algo así, ¿no?
Comparing the Traveler to the dead third descender and all.
Pero eso es lo raro, que se supone que mi hermano gemelo no es parte de los descendidos y yo sí. Que es lo que es muy extraño. Que es como, estás diciendo que entonces mi hermano es originario de Tevat, pero yo no. Pero si somos gemelos, o sea, ¿qué onda? ¿Qué está pasando ahí? Aquí la pago, no voy a morir tan fácilmente.
Once Child recovers, let's get some more answers out of him. Or go look for his master and get the answers that way.
I too believe it unwise to make too many blind guesses when information is lacking. The same is true of being at court.
All right. Whatever the case, it seems like the crisis here in Fontaine's over for now.
Yes. All of Focalor's efforts were for this moment as well.
But she sacrificed herself in the end as a god, and she suffered through all those years as a human. Was that really what she wanted?
I suppose that would be the mystery of a god's will.
¿Entiendes la voluntad de los dioses?
I suspect not. But once in a while I too would guess that if wishes were like the clouds in the sky, they will one day return to the earth as raindrops. Life flows like water, and rain is the final answer. The water levels may sometimes tilt one way or another, but the rain falls fairly upon all. And what ultimately is the
ambos
difference between
hermanos,
the rains
eso
that
o
fall
ambos
upon
hermanos
all
fueron
of
un solo
us?
ser y por ende una sola hipnosis. Como lo que es el tema de Focalors y Furina. Dos personas del mismo cuerpo que se separaron. Algo así. Aleluya, 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 aleluya. ¿Cómo subir la cabeza?
It seems from your expressions that you still have more things you wish to ask. Ask away.
¿Puedo
I will tell
preguntarte
you
más
the truth
cosas?
as I know it.
Ah, no, pues ya no.
I suggest that you fully prepare yourself before going to Natlan. In the meantime, Fontaine...
Teorías locas.